Cindy.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Amazing. I'm doing so good. How was your weekend and how has your week been not at your real job?
Been so amazing. I had a fishing tournament, so I got this nice little sunburn I'm sporting.
I love it. I
But,
can't even tell. That's awesome.
but we were in a fishing tournament Friday through yesterday, so I feel like this is my first full day fully in coaching. I was just on Sam's open coaching call.
Oh,
So,
awesome. Yeah.
yes, I'm getting clear on what I need to do, and I
Oh,
start serving Wednesday. I'm super excited.
oh my gosh. So good. Wait, why are you starting Wednesday? Super excited.
So I'm going back to waiting tables for a
Oh,
little.
got it. Oh, got it. Got it. Okay. Got it. Got it. I thought you said you were waiting for Wednesday to be excited. I was like,
Oh,
wait, why? You can be excited now.
yes.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. And I've been thinking about you. I know. Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting diving in, but it's also scary too. It can be a lot, right? But
Yes.
you got this. You totally got this. Okay, well, we will go ahead and dive in here. Let me just grab, I'm on my laptop again today. So it's a little bit, my screen is just a little bit smaller than it normally is, but it tends to work a little bit better as far as like being able to show you stuff. So I'm not sure if you had a chance to watch the replay from call 6. We had a little bit of a shift. It's okay if you didn't. It's totally fine. It's like jam packed. So I would definitely recommend like sitting down when you have a chance to really like take everything in. And what I ended up doing because there was so much stuff in it, I decided to split it up. So I split day 6 up and I made day 6 and day 7 like 2 separate days. So what we're going to do is we're going to do what was supposed to be day 7 on day 8, and then after that, instead of doing a Q&A call, I'm going to open up a Telegram channel for us for about a week after the program. So if you have questions or you want to get in and get any feedback or anything, we can definitely do that. So that'll be open on Friday for the week. And of course, the Facebook group is always a good spot to put anything that you have going on or any questions or anything. So, yeah, so we'll just go ahead and we will dive in. I'm sure there will be other people hopping on in and out as they do, which is great. But today we're really going to be talking about, like, my intentions for today are to talk about different offer types, because there are different types of offers, and the way that we talk about them and the way that we present them and the way that we sell them and launch them is going to, you want to take into consideration like the kind of offer that it is. So can you see my screen? Is my screen sharing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Does it say intentions? Okay, good. Like I said, my screen is really small, so I'm always like, oh, where did everything go? Where did everybody go? And I can't see your face. So just know that I'm here and I'm with you. And and
Perfect.
here's Sarah. Okay. Hey, Sarah. All right. So we were just diving in. Today we are going to be chatting. Hello there. How are you?
Yeah.
Good, good. It's so good to see you. So Sarah, you were there last on the last call. It was just jam-packed. So today we are going to kind of spread everything apart a little bit, and we're going to talk about different offer types, the types of offers and how that impacts how we sell them, how we think about them, how our messaging around them. And we are also going to talk about selling evergreen offers, because evergreen offers are, I think they're important, especially in your coaching business, because probably most likely you're always going to have one-to-one coaching like available for your people to come into, unless you're at the point where you have a wait list, and in that case that's awesome too, but you can still be bringing attention to the evergreen offers. So today I'm going to give you a bunch of strategies to be able to do that, and also how to turn an offer maybe that was time sensitive into an evergreen offer at any point in time. So this should be really, really helpful. Again, there's going to be a lot. So just take what you want, leave what you don't need right now. You can always revisit and come back to it. And no need to, overwhelm yourself with needing to do too much or trying to do everything, because that's never, ever a good strategy. Okay. So I just dropped in the chat the document for today. Oh, I hate when it does this. Does this ever happen to you guys where on Canva, for whatever reason, the picture doesn't show up? Ugh, it's so annoying. I hope it only does it on that one. But we just talked about what we're going to do today. So we're good to go. And yeah. Oh, and also, too, I have a lot to say today. I have a hard stop at the top of the hour just because I have to hop on another call. So just so you know, at the hour mark, we will be wrapping it up. And again, did it ask you for access? Dang it. Okay, hold on. Let me fix that real quick. Thank you for letting me know. We always try to make sure everything is good to go, and sometimes it doesn't happen. Okay, so it says, let me see here. Let's try this new link and see if this works. Try that one and let me know if that works for you.
Keep saying I need to make a copy.
Yeah, so you're going to make a copy of it and then it'll be yours. So you can write on it, you can edit it, you can copy it.
Yeah, that works. Thank you.
Cool. Okay, good. Yay. You're very welcome. Okay, so let's go. Let's get moving here. So last time, and this is just kind of a little recap from the last call, we really focused on aligning our content with the different price phases and like that moment where you're like, I want to show up today. I want to talk about my offer. I'm in the middle of this launch, but like, what do I say? What am I supposed to say? There was an entire on the day 6 document. There is a whole menu of like things you can just pick and choose from, things that feel good to you, to go ahead and choose from. So that's from the last call. And then we very briefly talked about the different price phases, right? If you're doing a time sensitive offer, we have the tease, the wait list, the pre-sale, early bird, regular, and then when the offer starts, you can even continue selling after the offer begins. And we talked about we talked about content as far as content in your feed. And when I say content in your feed, it's just something that's going to live there for a little longer outside of stories, right? So like your Instagram feed stays there, it stays intact. Facebook stories Facebook posts stay intact. LinkedIn stays intact. Emails, they stay there. They're not going to go anywhere. They're not going to disappear. So this is kind of what we talked about when we were talking about feed work is like, okay, these are, sorry, I just got distracted here. Hold on. Okay. Feed stuff is stuff that's just going to like live there forever. Okay. So when you're in the tease or wait list, we're focusing on problem awareness, getting people thinking about the topic of the offer. We're not really directly selling anything, and we're really just planting seeds and giving a lot of value in regards to the topic. And if you go over, let me stop sharing for a second. And then let me pull this up. I'm not going to spend too much time on this too, because I want to make sure to get to the meat of today. But the document for today should look like this. And if you scroll down on the bottom, I just included these things in here too. Aligning your feed content with the price phase. And when we say feed, it can be anything. It can be Instagram feed, Facebook posts, emails that are going out, LinkedIn, Instagram lives, Facebook lives, like whatever it is. These are just things that are going to stay. So there are some specific examples for every phase here, for you to take. And again, I always say this, I'm like, feel free. I am not the person that's going to like come at you and be like, oh my gosh, why did you copy me? I'm like, take it, use it, make it yours, tweak it. Like, let me take like the heavy thinking, lifting out of this and use whatever it is that you need from here and make it your own. So, and then what we did is sorry, you guys. There's my screen. Okay. There's like this is what's distracting me right now. There's like this bar right here. Do you see that? Do you see it on your screen? Like, I dropped my computer this morning. It almost looks like it moves with me. Oh no, maybe that's Liz's screen. Oh my God, you guys. It's going to be one of those days. Yeah, it is. Okay, we're good. I'm like, is my computer broken? I literally like dropped it on the floor this morning and was like, like there it goes. Okay, so we're good. I can stop thinking about that and just focus now.
Talking about my curtain right here.
It's the curtain. Yes, that's what it is. I'm like, what is this? What is happening? Is my computer broken? I mean, it's it's going to be one of those weeks. Okay, so here we go. back to this. So pre-sale and pre-sale, we're still talking about problem awareness, bringing attention to the topic, calling them out, and sharing the name of the offer and how to get in. Same with pre-sale. And then early bird, we move more into storytelling, embodiment, what you've been able to create and how that's impacted your life, your client results, and a really solid, clear CTA. Because at this point, we're selling. And then regular pricing, we are given the playbook. We're talking to the analyzer buyer. We're talking about the how, the logistics, answering common questions that you get, and just answering questions that you would have if you were a person on the other end of this offer. If you were a potential client, like what questions would you have, and just answering them, like being proactive and just moving forward and answering them, even if nobody's asking you questions about the offer. So that was a really quick recap of call 6. Again, definitely go in and dive into that. It'll be one that you'll want to revisit quite a bit. But today we're really going to focus on different types of offers. And I see them as two different, like they're two main different types of offers. Are outcome focused. So something that's really focused on a skill or knowledge that they're going to be walking out of the space with. So like it's very targeted, it's very specific. There's a specific, like you come into this offer, you're going to learn to do this, and then you're going to walk out knowing this specific thing. So it's outcome focused. Other offers are close proximity offers. So this is going to include things like your mastermind. This should have said mini mind, not masterminds twice. A longer term offer. And also, it'll include your one-to-one coaching. So, if we kind of group these two offers together, and for those of you too, masterminds, I know mini minds for me was a different like term that I was like, what is that? A mini mind is basically just like a mastermind where we're all coming together in a space and it's just for a shorter time period. So it might be 4, 6, 8 weeks. And sometimes it can be outcome focused where there's a specific topic, but really in a mini mind, nothing is off the table. Just like inside of a mastermind is just more long term. And there are maybe specific like topics that you discuss, but really nothing's off the table. Same with the one-to-one coaching, right? Like nothing's really off the table in a one-to-one coaching space. And that's why I feel like these close proximity offers are a little bit more difficult to describe because like I said, there's not really anything off the table. There's definitely things that you're going to like coach around, but it's hard to say, like, okay, at the end of this, this is what you're going to know, or this is what you're going to be. So I always say, like, trying to describe these sometimes feels like trying to describe a color or to describe like a taste of something. Well, what does it taste like? Well, I don't know. It tastes like a strawberry. Like it's a strawberry. Like, I don't know. How do you describe that? And then say the outcome focused ones are a little bit easier to describe, to create messaging around because it's pretty clear. Like you come in, you learn this, you walk out, you have this. Whereas the close proximity ones, just a little bit more wide open, I would say. So if you're sitting down and you're working on like if you're working on the messaging for one of these things and you're like, gosh, why is this so difficult? I just want to validate that, like, yeah, these are harder to kind of describe and talk about just for that reason. Now, all of these things, anyone from either category can be time sensitive or they can be evergreen. I've seen people do this in all different ways. Time sensitive just means it starts on a certain day and that it ends on a certain day. Evergreen means we launch it and it's out there and then it's out there and anybody can come into it at any time. And if you guys have questions about any of this as I'm going, please just feel free to drop it in the chat. I'm trying to do my best to keep an eye like on everything and everyone. There we go. Yes, please, Sarah, go for it.
This is great. And I'll have a touch point later. We can talk more about this, but how would you describe the concept of, for example, my group program? There is a start date that I'll do cohorts, but I'm also trying to toy with the idea of how can I bring in, I wouldn't say it's like a full mastermind, but like I had the first cohort. I'd like to do a second one in the fall. It will be a start, but it's also kind of like an ongoing group program. So
Yeah.
it's meant to be evergreen long term, but it's also somewhat time sensitive in sense of like bringing people in. So I assume that's a pretty common model. What is that? How do you describe that game plan around?
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about why it's time sensitive. What's the idea? Is it just is it, and I'll give you some examples. So is it because it's time sensitive because you're trying to launch it and get people in? Or is it time sensitive because when they come into the program, like everybody's going to be doing week 1 work on week 1, and then everybody will be doing week 2 work on week 2, and then on week 3, everybody will be doing week 3 work. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense. It's more the former. I did have work for each week, and now that I'm in it, I'm realizing like people are not on the same schedule, not on the same pace, and I think that's totally fine. Like they're welcome to be at their own process, but there is a structure, so there's some framework and like community being built.
Yeah. So I don't want you to get caught up on like, is this time sensitive? Is it evergreen? Because it doesn't really actually matter. What we think about, and we're thinking about like zooming out and thinking more big picture too about your business as a whole and the longevity of your offers, right? So we're not really like, yes, it's important to like launch and get people in for this one, but we're thinking about it again, like a long term over time. Like you see this growing and becoming like your signature offer, right? And this is going to be bringing in recurring revenue. It's going to be a way, it's definitely scalable too. So that's an amazing thing. I'm going to share with you kind of what I did with my group program that was similar. It sounds kind of similar when I first launched it and kind of how it evolved over time because this might help you. So the first time that I ran it, I did it the same way. I launched it on the same day. It was time sensitive. So I said, we're starting on this day, we're ending on this day. Week 1, we're doing this. Week 2, we're doing this. That first round of the program, it went great. Like it was fine. We all, like everybody, yeah, people kind of got off track and caught up and fell behind and went forward, and it was fine. It was great. Okay, perfect. After that, I realized I was like, well, wait a second. I don't want to have to be like launching this constantly every 6 weeks to like get people in. I like what would be dream for me is to like have this standing call on my schedule every week where I know we're meeting with this program group every week, and I show up and I support them. And also too, I'm the type of person that like I don't necessarily like to be held back. Like if I have capacity and I'm like, okay, like I want to move forward, I want to go, I want to have all the information, I want to keep the momentum going. I don't like to have to wait for something to like drip out to me. Like I'm like, I want it now. I got time. I can work on it now. Like, let's do it. So the second time I ran the program, I moved it into, it was time sensitive in that I was like, okay, I launched it and like, we're going to start on this day. But I designed it so the calls were separate from the lessons and the modules. So someone could essentially come in on week 1 and dive into the week 1 stuff. And then someone could be on week 4 and would be working on week 4. They could both show up on the call and I could support both of them because the topics of the calls were not specific to week 1 or week 3 or week 4. They were specific to the program as a whole. So like I knew that whatever the topic was, that it would be beneficial for anybody week 1, week 4, week 8. It didn't matter. So that's kind of where I played with it. And I was like, because now I don't have to like launch it. I can have people coming in constantly. And at that point, it turned evergreen. It was like, okay, perfect. From there, it evolved into more of a mastermind because I realized the things that people were coming with. Like I didn't want it to be me just teaching on a topic. I wanted it to be truly, I wanted people to come in and be like, here's what I'm working on. Here's what I need support around. Like, help me. And I wanted the group, like the collective, to be able to help versus just me being like, okay, let me help you with that. So
Yeah.
that's where it evolved into a mastermind. And now, so what happens now, my mastermind is evergreen. Anybody can come in at any time. When they come in, they get access to all of the modules so that they can work through them at their own pace. They can ask questions about them. They have all of that information. On my end, it's helpful because I can say, like, if they come to me with a question about whatever, I can be like, oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. Have you dove into like module 3? There's a specific video I'm going to send you to that'll explain this in more help, and then I'm going to definitely like support you around this. So they have access to it. It's still all there. It's still really great content. They still like use it. I mean, I know that they're in there and they're watching the things as they need it, and they kind of pick and choose like the buffet. You guys know I love the buffet. So they pick and choose, and I mean, I have my standing call every week for the mastermind, and it's simple for me in that I just get to show up and support them in whatever they're doing. I don't have to like prepare slides for it. I don't have to think of a topic. I don't have to like really facilitate. I mean, I do facilitate, but it's in a less structured way.
A lot of coaching.
Yeah. Does that I mean, does that help? That was kind
Yeah,
of a lot that I just
that
worded.
was that really does. I was taking notes. That's exactly what I'm building, and that affirms it
Mhm.
100% and makes me feel clear about it. Because I was like, I don't really know how to structure this thing.
Yeah, I think it's good to start though, however you're starting, like whatever you're doing, it's going to be perfect. It's going to be
Yeah.
great. If you have people on like a weekly module, hi Fada, it's great, and it'll be great. The way that mine evolved was simply by just like trial and error. Like I would
Yeah.
just get in there and be like, okay, this is cool, but like, how could it be even better? And even now, I'm like thinking of ways to like even make my mastermind the way that it is now. I love that space. It is like freaking amazing, amazing space with amazing women in it. Even thinking like, how can I make this even better? How can I push it even farther? How can I make it even more, you know, incredible for them? So yeah.
That was great. Thank you for explaining. That gives me more context.
You're welcome. And yeah, like I was gonna say, like you don't want to get too, we don't want to get too caught up in like, is it evergreen? Is it whatever? Like just kind of go with it and pick something and then move with it. And then you'll see in it. And you can always shift. You can always like course correct mid offer. You can mid launch even. You can change it up for sure. So those are the two different types of offers. And then let's talk about the close proximity offers because I know so many of you do have close proximity offers. And again, these are, I include masterminds, mini minds, longer term offers, and one-to-one coaching inside of close proximity offers. They're things where you're going to be really supporting them. It's going to be really customized, tailored support to them. It's going to be, they're going to have access to you, quite a bit of access to you throughout this thing. So when we talk about, I want to talk about the energy behind, because on you're not going to go like when you're launching an offer and you're talking about a close proximity offer, you're not going to get on there as far as the energy and think about like, you wouldn't talk about it like you would talk about a masterclass. Like a masterclass is kind of in and out. It's short, it's quick, it's a one-day thing. You get the replay, you're going to learn this, this, and this. I'm not going to talk about my mastermind in that way because that's not what it is, right? It's much deeper. And so again, as far as the energy, I'm going to really focus on the embodiment. Okay. Embodying what somebody coming into my mastermind or my one-to-one coaching, what that's going to do for them, how I'm living out what I know I can help them do by coming into this offer with me and giving it 110%. I want them to see what's possible, and I want them to see too what clients have created. I want them to see what people inside this space or a similar space, like if my one-to-one clients or my private clients, I'm going to showcase in my content and in my messaging. And when I talk about this offer, I'm going to share what people who have done inside this space, what they've accomplished, and what, like, wow, like why it's so amazing. What makes being this space the obvious answer? What makes it different? Right. And then talking about what they've already done and what's already going well, but also pointing out where they want to go next and what's possible at the next level. So for like, and I'm just using my mastermind as an example because it's really fresh for me. My mastermind is a close proximity offer. People have access to me, Monday through Thursday. Basically, we are on calls once, sometimes twice a week. Um, I want to share like when I'm talking about this offer, I want to share about like, look, like I know that you already have your coaching business established. I know that you have had clients. I know that you've already like had amazing success with the clients you have. Now what you want to do is you want to amplify that. You want to magnify that and make it more. And you want to do it in a way that's repeatable. Like you don't want to feel like when you do sign clients or when somebody does come into your offer that it was just like a fluke thing. You want a system that you can follow. And that's exactly what we're doing inside of this space. So pointing out where they like what they're already doing that's great, because we're not going to just call out like, the problems. We're also going to call out what's going well. And we're going to point out what's possible for them when they come into this space. The energy behind that, again, I'm not doing that for challenges. Like I'm not doing that for this, like even this mini group program, right? Like I'm just getting in and out of like, this is what we're talking about in the outcome focused. Here's what you're going to learn. Here's how it's going to change your life. Here's how it's going to change your business. Let's go. Let's do this. With these, it's a little deeper. And then also sharing behind the scenes of what's going on, behind the scenes of conversations you're having inside that close proximity offer, conversations that you're having in there, things that your clients inside that offer are like the results they're having, the wins that they're having. Also sharing too, like how you're getting them from point A to point B. So like that previous example, if I'm talking about my mastermind, I might say something like, client A came to me and she had already worked with a couple clients. She knew she wanted to grow her business. She knew she wanted more consistent clients so that she could feel comfortable leaving her like 9-to-5 job. Well, in order to do that, here's exactly what we did. We worked on X, Y, and Z, and she showed up in this really like powerful way with this really powerful mindset. And then I would describe that. And then I would say, now she's actually getting ready to finish up her last day at work on Thursday. This is like a true story, you guys. I'm so excited for her. She's finishing up her last day on Thursday, and she's going to be running her business full time because she has that. So I'm painting a picture of what is possible and what's happening behind the scenes. So this is for close proximity offers, as far as the energy goes behind it. I also in here, I put some bullet points of like, again, when you're having a moment, and you're like, what am I supposed to say? What can I say when I show up? These are some prompts that you can kind of drop into. There's also two on the document, I believe. Where did my doc go? Hold on. Okay, on the document, let me stop sharing just so you can see this. I lost you again. Are we all doing okay? Everybody good? Thumbs up. Okay, good, good. Good, good, good. On the document, there is, if you go say, there's a little picture of the different types of offers. And then I'm talking about close proximity offers first. So basically what's on the slide, like, is right here. But these are content frames and sentence frames that support this offer type and speak to each buyer type. So I know, Fada, you and I had talked about how helpful sentence frames are. So if you're selling a close proximity offer and you're like, okay, well, how do I want to talk about my offer today? Well, I'm in the pre-sale phase of this, or really, you guys, you can't go wrong with any of this. So just pick one when you're like, I don't know. Or I want to talk to the emotional buyer, you can go through and choose one of these, like basically sentence prompts for you to work from. Okay. You cannot go wrong with any of these sentence prompts, and they're there for all three buyer types. So again, when you're like, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to show up? So if you're selling a mini mind, a mastermind, a long-term offer, or one-to-one coaching, these are all options for you. And then this is just for you to, the energy behind the offer, just to keep in mind as you're speaking about it. Okay. Okay. Let me go back. Any questions so far? Is this making sense? Yeah. Okay. Good, good. This took a second for me to actually like wrap my head around too, because I was like, I don't understand. I don't understand. What's the difference between a long-term offer and a mastermind? I just threw the long-term offer in there because I guess a mastermind is technically a long-term offer. A longer-term offer is just going to be something where they're with you, I would say probably for more than 3 months. So it could be, I mean, it could be anything. It's just anything where they're going to have more access to you and they're going to have close proximity to you. A mastermind could be a long-term offer. A mini mind could be a long-term offer. Well, a mini mind's kind of a short-term offer because it's a shorter time frame. One-to-one coaching could be short-term. It could be long-term. Like I'm doing the summer sprint offer right now, and it's just a month of targeted, like focused coaching, one-to-one coaching, but it's not long-term, it's short-term. So you could kind of just play with this. All offers can be really anything. You just get to play with like what works best for you and what works best for your business. Hi, Teddy. Okay, so I'm going to give you, there are some examples and you will get these slides. Oh, good. I'm glad that these showed up of close proximity offers. So you're going to see results. You're going to see me talking to what I know they want to be able to create. And that doesn't really show anything, so disregard that one. This one, you're going to see me speaking deeply to what it is that they want. You're going to see me talking about why this is a game changer. Okay, is the content in the doc language that also makes sense for emails, landing page, etc.? Are there templates? Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely. So everything can be turned into anything. What I would start with to answer that question, and this is what takes the heavy lifting out of it, is the very first document from the very first day, the content block template. That's where you're going to get sales page, landing page, email copy. All of those things are going to be within that document, if that makes sense. But I also, too, I can't remember what day it was or what call it was. I shared inside whatever doc it is, it's there. I'll pull it up for you. But there's an email sequence that I used. I think it was like 8 or 9 emails that I used through the first launch of that first program. And those emails did really, really well. I think it brought like 3 or 4 people that signed up, not because of anything other than those emails. So they're in there too. But yeah, is that helpful? Is that what you, cool. Okay, good, good. All right, awesome. And then here's another close proximity example. These are talking about my mastermind. You're going to see me it's not about like, oh, it's in and out and it's quick and here's what you're going to learn. It's very, very much, it's deeper. It's about the identity piece in the mastermind. And these are all here again for you to just take. If you want to use them, absolutely, like take them, tweak them, make them yours. Here's one from the summer sprint one. This is one-to-one coaching. And it talks to, this is like a really good tip that's really helped me, like point out what they already have and then point out what they want to do now or what they're ready to do now. So like for this one, you've signed a few clients and proven you can coach, but now you're ready to consistently fill your calendar with dream clients who get you, pay you, and come in through a repeatable process you actually trust. This is pointing out where they are and also where I can take them in that month of work together. Same with this one. Where did it go? You've done the work to get clarity on your niche, your ideal client, and your unique selling point, but now it's time to lock it in so it feels rock solid in your bones and rolls off your tongue with confidence in your messaging, your content, and every time you talk about what you do. It's deeper, right? It's not just come in, come out, this specific skill or this whatever. And then here's the rest of those stories. These two, this is an older example, but I wanted to share it with you because I think this was really good for me when I first started coaching. You can see, well, it's not from when I first started coaching. I was about a year in at this point, but I wanted to create a highlight in my stories, ways to work together. And so I just kind of did this thing. And then I wrote private coaching. This was when I was just working with teachers. So that's just, you can tweak it to whatever you want it to be. But then I just talk about why I'm the best person to share this. Like I've done it. I've been through it with 2 kids. Like there's no excuses. And then it talks about like what I do, how I help you, and then the logistics of it. So it speaks to all the different buyer types, but it's just this lived in my stories as a highlight. And, it just stayed there. So when people landed on my page, they could look like really quickly and be like, oh, how do we work together? Here's one way, private coaching. That's what it looks like. So you can definitely take those and use those. But I just want to again, validate when we go back to different offer types. If we're thinking about different offer types, the close proximity offers are a little bit more difficult to describe just because they're more broad. It's not so targeted and it's not so specific. Like, yes, when somebody comes into your one-to-one coaching, of course it's going to be targeted. Of course, it's going to be specific around your brand pillars, but you might have 3, 4, 5 brand pillars, right? Like it really could be anything. And like, I know in my close proximity spaces, my people all know, I'm like, if you've got something going on that has nothing to do with your business, like you can bring it to this space because I believe that everything impacts everything. So if there's something you need to talk through or you're feeling really overwhelmed because your kid was up all night, like barfing, and now you can't figure out how to proceed, like let's talk about it and let's move through that. So it's a little bit more difficult again to describe. So and that's not to say that like don't do it or don't try. It's just to validate that if you've noticed yourself being like, why is this so difficult? Why is this so hard? That's why. It's just because it's more broad and it's just a bigger scope. Okay. So then close proximity. Oh, whoops. Okay. Here we go. Outcome focused offers. So these are things like our memberships, masterclasses, challenges, mini group programs. The energy behind these is very logical. It's very step by step. It's very straightforward. It's very much like this is how the result of this offer has tangibly changed my life. So like, here's what you come in, here's where you're going to go out with. Here are some sentence frames that like can help you if you're talking about an outcome focused offer. So again, these are master classes, memberships, challenges, mini group programs. And you can see it's more logical. It's less like emotional and it's more logical. So here I included some examples here. Very logical, very much like, here's where you are, here's what you want, here's what you're going to walk away with, here's what I'm doing. Okay. You can also too talk about, this was for a master class. This is me describing like how this specific thing that I'm teaching inside this master class, how it has tangibly, like an example of what it has given me in my life. Like, I think I was talking about how I was going to be at my son's baseball game really late and it was going into extra innings, and the version of me before, if I was still in my regular job, would have been so stressed out because, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to get up early, blah, blah, blah. But this is what my business has given me. And this is what, being full-time in my online business has done for me. And I'm going to share how to do that inside this masterclass. Same with the Zero Cling Sales Challenge. Like, it's very like, this is what we're doing. This is what you want, in and out. Like, here we go. Let's go. This was a mini group program. Yeah. Oh yeah. This was a mini group program. So again, I remember when this is what you need to be able to do. This is for this program actually. So that's a good example. I always love seeing examples of like the programs that I'm in, because I'm like, oh, this makes sense. I saw you do that and now I understand why you did it. I'm really speaking directly to, like, I'm pointing something out of like, oh, I know how you're feeling. I know what you're thinking right now. I know that you would never say that out loud, but I know that you're thinking that. And I'm pointing out what it is that you need to be able to do in order to get the result, and then about the offer. So other types of offers too. So I just wanted to throw this in here too. You can compare two offers too. Like, if you're a person that eventually, and you all will be like this too, you will have more than one offer that you're selling that you want to bring attention to. You can compare them. Like, you can actually compare them. So for this one, I was selling at the time a mini mind and a masterclass. A mini mind is more close proximity. A masterclass is in and out. It's an outcome focused offer. So I just described like, and I use that energy. So like, you can see here, like, you're ready for 4 weeks of hands-on, walk alongside you support, mapping out content line by line together so it's specific, potent, clear, and speaking to your dream clients. And then on the other side, it describes what the masterclass is going to be like. So you just want that in and out, like, you want to tap in, you want to watch the replay, you want to revisit the replay, you want to listen, you want to go. Yeah, so this is a cool way to just bring attention to both offers and kind of side by side, because again, that was a question that I was getting too. Well, should I do the mini mind or should I just do the masterclass? Like, what's the difference between them? How is a membership outcome focused? Yeah, so a membership is outcome focused. Well, I guess it depends. That could go on either side. If the membership is more, if it's designed, like if there's content inside of it. So like, if I were to create a membership, all of my master classes, all of my mini group programs could go in it, and those are all outcome focused. So the big idea there is that, well, you're building your business and you want to be able to have all of the tools and all of the pieces in place to be able to revisit to get all of these foundational pieces set up so that you can leave your 9 to 5, so that you can live life on your own terms. That would be an outcome focused membership, because they're going in to get the outcome focused things. A membership designed to maybe be a membership could be designed as a close proximity, in that, okay, inside this membership, you're going to be getting a monthly call or a weekly call with a group. Maybe you're getting access to this specific Telegram space where you get to ask a question once a week. That would be a close proximity membership. You could also combine the two. So maybe it's both of them coming together. So you get a Telegram space and you get all of the outcome focused, like offers, the mini group programs, the challenges, the master classes. You have all of that in one bank spot, and you also get the close proximity too. Does that make sense, Vada?
Yes, it makes a lot of sense. Thank you. Perfect. And that's exactly what I was thinking, that you can do it either way.
And if that's the case too, like if you decide, if you're like, okay, I'm going to do this membership at some point, I've got, this thing built up, and you don't have to have anything built up to do a membership. But if you're like, I want to do a membership, you just want to be cognizant of how you're talking about it. Like if it's a close proximity, the energy behind it versus a outcome focused, right? And if you're doing both, then you're going to bring attention to both parts of it. You might take turns talking about both of them. You might do a side by side, like talking about, yeah, you want this and you also want this. Here's how I'm going to deliver that inside this membership. So it could definitely be both. It could start off as one and shift into both of them. Like that could work too.
But you know what's cool about this,
Yeah.
is that as you're building this business and you're giving all of these offerings, it's cool to start, organizing your work and putting it together in a way where um, it's like, not only are you comfortable sharing it with others, but also it's simple enough and presentable for others so that it's ready. So you don't have to do the work later on when you're ready. You're kind of doing it as you're building it, as you're building it. So like, for example, like let's say that I'm creating reel covers or whatever, anything, like a post template, like you mentioned last time, or a master class or whatever. That when you're creating things for you, like I'm somebody who's very organized, but I understand what's going on.
Yeah.
But when you have in mind that this is something that you can sell one day, and yeah, you absolutely should, then then that's such a great eye opener. Thank you for that.
And that is I love that you said that too, because everything that you create now, and I was too, you guys, like in the beginning, all I sold was one-to-one coaching. That was it. Like that is where I started. And I think that was a great place for me to start, because essentially what happened, every single idea that I've ever had for a mini mind, for a group program, for a master class, for a challenge, have all come from, I just said cummed. That is not a word. Have all came from conversations with my one-to-one clients. So it's like, oh, if she needs this, I'm sure lots of people need this. And absolutely build it as you go. I'm not building this all out and like waiting until it's built to bring it to life and to bring people into it. I am like building it as I go. And the other part of that too is people like to be part of building things. You can spin that as like, you get to be part of this on the back end. That was my first group program. I was like, you guys come in to this beta offer, help me build it, give me feedback, like be honest with me, tell me what you need. And I will literally design this around what it is that you need. And they were stoked. And I mean, I've been in things like that too, where I'm like, yes, this is so cool. I get exactly what I need as she builds this out. It's not like, I don't look at it as a bad thing at all. So yeah, I appreciate you bringing that to the table. So thank you. The other thing too is, am I still sharing my screen? I can't even tell. Okay. Sorry, I would have. Okay. Is our cash injection offer. So these are really short-term offers that are not available all the time. So I did one for my 2-year like business anniversary. And this is just for fun. It was just a story, like a little sequence. I think I did this for like a week or two maybe. And I would just put this in my stories, talking about my favorite things to do inside my business. I was like, let's celebrate, let's make a party out of this. So then these were the offers that I came up with. There was, and the whole theme was like twos. So like you can see everything is like has twos, but like 2 days in Voxer, 2 one-to-one calls, 2 months of one-to-one support. Just message me. So those things too, like if I have, like, let's say I go 6 months from now and I have sold out signature offer and I have this launch like a boss. Those two are going to go really, those programs are going to go really well together because sold out signature offer is about creating your signature offer and launch like a boss is like all about selling it and launching it, right? So I could bundle those two and be like, hey, you guys, I'm doing a just for fun birthday celebration or whatever. I bundled these two programs together, take them. That is no work on my part. I just bundle them together. They're not going to get live calls like you guys are, but it's still a cash injection for me and my business. And I'm literally having to do nothing other than talk about it for a week or two and give them like this amazing deal on these two really great programs that I know that they'll find beneficial. So, okay, let me just check the chat. Okay. We are good. Okay, so let's chat about evergreen offers because this is a big thing because I know a lot of you, this is on your mind. Oh, look, it's written correctly here, mini minds. Evergreen are things, are offers that you can be selling, that you're selling all the time. So it's not time sensitive. It doesn't start on a certain date. It doesn't end on a certain date. It's just anybody can come into it. And especially things like one-to-one coaching or consulting is essentially an evergreen offer because you constantly want people coming in. And so I'm going to give you a bunch of strategies here to sell evergreen. And you're going to see they're similar to what we do in the launch process. We're just kind of spreading them out and doing them more often because really deciding to sell an evergreen offer is, or not deciding, selling an evergreen offer and launching it. We say launching it, we're just selling it consistently is just deciding to bring attention to it. So I'm going to, like for my, let me give you an example. So for my one-to-one coaching, I know that I have, let's say I know that I have a couple clients who I'm looking at my whiteboard and I know that their package is ending in like a couple months, maybe in 2 months from now. And so I'm looking and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to assume that they're not going to resign. So what do I need to do now to start to fill those spots versus waiting until like they're out and me go, whoa, wait, like, where are those next two, like, how can I fill this spot with these two dream clients, right? So right about then, about 2 months prior, I'm going to start thinking about like my evergreen offers and how I want to bring attention to them. And that's all it is, you guys. It's just simply bringing attention to those offers and giving it. When we think about all the things that we talk about in our business in a day or all the ways that we show up, it's thinking about what's going to get the most screen time in that particular day, on that particular day or that particular week, or even that particular month when you're planning out, what am I selling this month? So it's memberships that could be evergreen, masterminds, mini minds, one-to-one coaching. These are the things I guess could be, but they're probably most likely not. So like I said, it's you simply just deciding to continue to bring attention to it. And it's looking ahead and being proactive, just like I said, and bringing attention to it as it's actually happening. So if I have really amazing things happening in my one-to-one coaching space, and again, I'm going to bring attention to that. Even though I'm not like in a price phase with my one-to-one coaching, even though I'm not like, there's no time sensitivity to it, I'm still going to talk about the amazing things happening in it because I know I come to the table with the belief that there's people always watching, right? People are always watching me. People are always taking it in, whether they like it or engage or DM me. People are always watching. So, okay, so I'm going to give you some strategies here and talking about evergreen. And the other thing I was going to say too, you can too, if you are a person that's brand new to coaching or brand new to consulting or brand new to your business, and you're like, I want to actually like celebrate me launching this into the world for the first time. I want to celebrate me getting those first 5 clients. I always say like, it's the first 5 clients that really get like, that's when things really start like the ball rolling. And in hindsight, I wish I had have done this. I wish I had have made a more of a celebration out of it and like launched it like I would launch a time sensitive offer, even though I knew it wasn't going to be time sensitive. So I would celebrate and I would be like, you guys, I'm so freaking excited about this. You know, I've have my coaching certification. I've worked over the past year to really hone in these skills. I've had, you know, great success with my beta clients. And now I'm here to like really help you do XYZ, going back to the content template, the content block template, help you do this, this, and this. And now like I'm looking for these first 5 clients. I might actually too, you guys, in that first phase, I would have in hindsight, I would have gone through the price phases if I could have, if I had have known about them. I would have been like, okay, I am in pre-sale right now. Like the first, you know, for 2 days now, this is an insane deal. Coaching normally goes for this much. I'm letting you have it for this much. And to just really start to build that momentum, I would go through the price phases and I would, at the end of that price phase, whether I had 1 person in or 5 people in, I would do these strategies that I'm about to tell you. Make sense and all good? The other thing that I could do too, and maybe I might think about doing this. I just thought of it right now, is relaunching it. Because I haven't sold my one-to-one coaching in a long time. Most of my one-to-one coaching comes from like conversations that I'm having on the back end with people. So I haven't really talked about my one-to-one coaching in a while. I mostly bring attention to my mastermind. So if I'm looking ahead and I'm thinking, okay, I really do want to get some more one-to-one clients in there, I might relaunch it. Like, and go through, maybe not go through the price phases, but maybe make it like a celebration. Like, oh my gosh, for the fall, we're, you know, kids are back to school. Thank God. Let's dig into your business, you know, like whatever it is, and just kind of celebrate it and make it fun. Okay, so here are your strategies for Evergreen. Offer moments of urgency and clarity. So this is not to say that you need to constantly be running a sale, or like, we don't want to create urgency in like an icky way. Like you only want to do it if it's actually like, it's actually true. So like I see people all the time, you guys, on Instagram, and they're posting things like, oh my gosh, you guys, only 2 spots left. And I'm like, that's not true. Like, it's not true. You're just saying that to like create this false sense of urgency. Only really use that if it's actually true. So this could look like running like a quarterly limited time bonus. So maybe in December, join by, you know, December 31st and get an extra one-to-one call. So you're not necessarily like marking the price down. You're just adding a bonus in there that you think would be really cool and really exciting to have also if you were the client on the other end. You can also add seasonal positioning in. So like wording for this could be, this is perfect for a summer reset, kind of like I'm doing with my summer sprint offer. You can prep for your Q4 launch now. You would sell that in Q3. This isn't adding any type of like discount or sale or anything. It's just simply bringing attention to like, now is the time you want to do this in the fall, but let's spend the summer doing this now. And then you can also offer monthly themes or focuses inside the program to keep this timely. I did this in my mastermind too. I really wanted to get some new people in towards the end of the year. And so what I did is all through December, I had like themes of the calls, and they were really like juicy, fun themes that like people were like, ideally people were looking at and going, oh, that sounds really cool. I really want to get in on this. And that just kind of kept it fresh, right? It kept it fresh so that like I wasn't getting bored, they weren't getting bored, and it brought people in too. So that was cool. The next strategy is to automate a nurture to sale funnel. So I know what people freak out when we see the word funnel and, oh my God, like it's so much work, da, da, da. It doesn't have to be a lot of work. It's simply just an email. I think about a funnel. Well, my funnels are just email sequences. So let me take this program for an example. So we will wrap this program up next week, sometime soon. We'll wrap it up. And then this will go into my like bank of offers where somebody could find me and stumble across this offer and be like, oh, I really want this information. I want to purchase it. When they purchase it, I'm going to put them, they're obviously going to get that training, right? Or it could even be an opt-in, you guys. It could be anything. It could be a secret podcast episode. It could be whatever. This is evergreen. This program is evergreen because it's not like everybody's going to need to launch all the time. Like it's not specific to like launch your Christmas offer. Here are your strategies to do this during the holidays. It's just, this is an evergreen offer. So they would get the training, and then I would sit my butt down and be like, okay, you're going to write 2 to 3 emails that are going to nurture them and show them again, like remind them about this program, check in on how they're doing, ask them, share results of how people have gone through this program and what they've created. And then a CTA, like if you want more, come join my mastermind. If you want more of this, or now that you've learned this, come into my mastermind and learn more about this. Or it could even go into, if I had a membership, you like this, amazing. Like there's a whole bank of things like this inside of my membership. I don't have a membership, but if I did, or someday when I do, I would lead into that. So just whatever makes sense for the next offer. So you don't have to do anything for that, right? You just let it go and you don't have to do anything. It's just those emails that are running on the back end, right? You just want to check in and refresh that messaging quarterly, I would say. And then you're going to infuse this offer, this evergreen offer, anywhere where it makes sense. So like, let's say, and you guys have kind of heard me do this too inside this program. So you've heard me mention my mastermind, not in a way where I'm like being icky or like annoying or selling it to you. I'm just simply like sharing, oh yeah, like this is what happened inside the space. This is how I launched this offer, or this is how I did this. I'm infusing it in there. I'm talking about it in there just to make people aware of it, right? So people know like, oh, it's there. You can share client wins or behind the scenes and moments from inside the program. Like you can do this anytime, okay? Referencing the transformation from your program regularly, right? Even in non-sales content. So you don't necessarily have to always be selling it. You just want to bring attention to it and let people know that it's still there. Because imagine this, if you were on Instagram and you saw somebody like constantly talking about an offer. So they're like every day, Monday through Friday, talk about it. And you're kind of on the fence and you're thinking like, oh, I really want to do this. I should probably, check my finances. I'll wait just a little bit. Okay. And you see it. And then you don't see it anymore. It's probably going to fall by the wayside, right? You're probably gonna be like, oh, well, I guess maybe she's not doing that anymore. Or maybe maybe that doesn't exist. Or maybe like it's over. By constantly bringing attention to it and bringing it back to mind, you're just kind of bringing them around again, right? Just to be like, hey, this is still here. This is still an option. This is still around. Closing with a CTA, like this is exactly the kind of thing we work on inside, and then your offer name, and then you can message me for details if you are wanting to, have a direct CTA. So just bringing it anywhere that it makes sense. I'm not ever going to force it like in a way that feels like annoying, but I'm going to bring it up where it makes sense because I want to continue to talk about it because I believe in that space so much. I believe in that offer so much. Okay, the next thing is polls, replies, story views that bring attention to the offer. So if you want more info, then, oh, I didn't finish that sentence. I don't know what that was supposed to say. Okay, so keep it casual, relational, and low pressure. You don't have to there's no pressure. Especially like I went into this quite a bit in the Zero Cling Sales Challenge. Like we have taken all of the meaning out of anybody like doing anything. And we're just showing up again because we believe that this would be a really, really great option. And when people are clicking my stickers, when people are sliding the poll button, when people are, answering things based on the offer, I am going to send them a message. And I usually try to do voice messages when I can, but I'll say this offer is open now and would be a great fit based on what we've talked about before. Let me know if you'd like more info. I always ask for permission before I send anything over, information or a link over. And we're actually going to talk about this even more on our next call about like the actual selling of it in the DMs. But just anytime you can bring a poll or a story or anything, a topic, like in my mastermind, like if we talked about the specific thing today about, I don't even know. I might put a poll in there and be like, hey, we talked about this inside my mastermind. What do you think? What's your opinion? And just have them start to like engage with it. I am gonna. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is typically what I do when I am talking, when I'm sending a message. So if they click something, if they slide something, if they like something, whatever. So I'll say something like, hey there, I saw you did something. I saw you click the sticker, whatever it is. I'm currently running, and then the name of the offer, or Launch Like a Boss is currently open, or spots are open in Launch Like a Boss right now. And we're working on whatever it is that you know that they want, launching your offer seamlessly. Let me know if you want more info, and I'm happy to send it your way. Would love to have you. Very low pressure, very, very easy. Now, people always get in their head about, oh my gosh, if I send something like this, then it's going to have to be like, you know, like I have to have a sales page ready. I have to have this really fancy sales page ready. No, you guys, you can sell from a Google Doc. And I'm going to share examples of this in our next call. But you don't have to get in your head about, oh my gosh, I don't have a sales page. I don't have a landing page. I've literally sold my mastermind, like a high ticket, close proximity space, through a Google Doc. Because again, people don't share. Yeah, bye, Sarah. People do not care about if like the sales page looks nice, right? If you have two side by sides and one is like this really pretty sales page, but you're like very confused about what it is or what it says, and then you have a Google Doc and it speaks directly to your problem, how I can fix it for you, and the transformation, who you're going to be on the end, you're going to go with the Google Doc. We don't care. Like, I don't care how nice your sales page looks. That is my belief. And we're going to talk about that even more on our next call. Turning your story series into highlights. This is huge because when you post on stories, right, on Instagram, they disappear after 24 hours. So by creating, and you're putting a lot of like thought and love and effort into these stories to really speak to these different buyer types, to speak to the transformation. So group them, put them together in a highlight so it stays there. So anytime anybody lands on your page, they are able to go. These are some of my favorites inside the program or like inside the mastermind. Client wins. That's a great one. Who this offer is for is a great one. So they can really quickly distinguish like, oh, this is for me, or oh, it's not. And then FAQs. So you're always passively selling to new people who land on your page. And again, if you don't have any FAQs yet, that's okay. Make them up. Put yourself in the potential client shoes and say, what questions would I have about this offer? What would I want to know before I came into it? Or what questions have I asked about offers that are similar to this before coming into it? So answer the questions. You can bring attention to the offer periodically throughout the quarter. So you're going to map out like 1 to 2 selling seasons, I guess, per quarter, where this offer, like you bring the most attention to it, even if the cart isn't necessarily closing. So if you think like in one quarter, mapping out like a week or two where you're bringing like the spotlight is on this offer. And again, just because the cart isn't closing doesn't mean you have nothing to talk about. You have client wins to talk about. You have what's happening inside the program to talk about. You have the transformation to talk about. You can speak to all of the different buyer types throughout that space, and there's no right or wrong. So it's almost like a visibility sprint. And then you can reuse all of the launch content, but you're just going to switch it so it's like evergreen. There's not going to be like ends in 2 days or ends this time. You just talk about it as if it's there forever. Micro offers that can lead into an evergreen offer too. This is great to do. You can do free or paid. It can be paid too, like a low ticket challenge. And it doesn't have to be 3 days. It can be whatever. It can be a master class, and it doesn't have to be an hour. It can be whatever. Like you can make this whatever works for you. Maybe it's a week of Telegram, a Telegram challenge. Maybe it's behind the offer, a private Q&A where you give value and remind people that's like, there's more where this came from inside the full offer. It's almost like an appetizer. Hold on one second. There's almost like an appetizer for like what it's like to work with you. This is just a little taste of it. And then you want the whole shebang. Here's the evergreen offer that you can come into. Fada said, will we be doing the mapping out during your summer sprint offer? Will you clarify that question?
You know how you've mentioned map out 1 to 2 selling periods per quarter?
Yeah.
So I was wondering, because what my understanding, and I haven't really like went deep into it, my
Mhm.
understanding with your summer sprint offer
Mhm.
that you have
Yeah.
is that you're kind of helping people map out their business. And
Yeah.
is that something that we can expect? And this might not be the right time to talk about it, but I want
Oh
to.
yeah, no, that's okay. No. It's okay. It's all good.
All
So
right.
as far as the mapping out, the summer sprint offer is designed to be an offer where you come in and you're like, this is the thing that I want to have done at the end of this month. So it could be mapping out an offer. It could be working on your mindset. It could be creating a signature offer. It could be mapping out content. There's like a bunch of different things that we could possibly work on, but I'm leaving that up to the client. And I'm just giving examples of things that we could do together, and definitely mapping out your quarter or your launch, whatever that looks like for you and your business. We could absolutely tackle that in a month. In that summer sprint offer, it's one-to-one call, and then it's Voxer support for the rest of the month, Monday through Thursday. So it's like on the call, we're gonna like dig in, we would like map it out, and then on Voxer, we would go in and you would start to implement, ask questions, create the content around the map, like do those things, and then you would get feedback in real time. So that's what that summer sprint offer is. So I hope that clarified. This probably wouldn't be the space to map out. Mapping out is more of a one-to-one or a mastermind type spot to do it, just because I want to be able to give like the full attention to you, and I can't do that when we're in a group setting like this. So yeah. Okay, just a few more, and I know we're over in my call. I told her I might be a little bit late, so she'll probably be fine. Okay, so we can also talk about micro evergreen cart close moments. So even if the offer is always open, you can limit a bonus for a few days. This could again be like a little celebration thing. Like, you guys, it's my birthday, and so I just want to give away like 3 free calls when you join my mastermind, but it's only available for, a couple days before and after my birthday. So that could be an example of that. Again, I'm not discounting anything. I don't really like to like discount things just because I just don't like to do that. I like to add more like juice to it to like make it even more exciting to come into. I can offer a priority access to calls. I can say this round's community call, or like, oh my gosh, you guys, I could do this on like a Friday. I'm so excited. I'm preparing this thing for my mastermind on Monday. We're really diving into email marketing. That's kind of a hot topic for my mastermind girls. So I've got this special speaker coming in, and on Monday, if you want to join us before then, like, please, like, let me know right away. That's like urgency, but it's still evergreen. And that's like a true story. That's really actually what's going to happen. So I could bring attention to that. I really like the bonus aspect. Yeah, and not doing discounts. I rarely ever discount. I just don't like the feel of it. And coaching too is just, it's so like, I just feel like it's so high touch, and it's so like, I don't know, just so much love and care is put into coaching that it's like, I'm not going to discount. I don't want to discount that. I don't know. But some people do, and you can if you want to. You can repurpose, like I said, old content as evergreen. So just take a look at your launch and what did really well, whether it's an email, a post, Instagram live, whatever it is that you did that just you felt like did really well, or maybe it performed well. And just redo that. Do it again, but just take away the date references, tweak the CTA, and post it again as ongoing messaging. Like, you definitely can do that. Yeah. Bye, Teddy. And then I have 2 more. So client wins to reshare the offer weekly. So again, just creating a habit of sharing weekly what your clients are doing and their wins that they're having. And for those of you that are either watching the replay or you're here and you're like, well, my clients don't really have that great of results. Like, I'm just starting off. Like, I don't really know. Like, no, you're going to own those results, big or small. And you have to understand that your clients are reflecting your energy. So you making a big deal out of your wins and the things that you've done and you're not making a big deal of it's the same thing. Like, you want to make a big deal out of you. We're going to make a big deal about our clients. We're going to blow things up and bring attention to how amazing these things are. And like Liz, I'm like thinking about you and like you like leaving your job. Like that is a big deal that most people probably would not do. They would be too scared and they'd be like, I'm not doing it. Like you bring attention to that. It says a lot about you. And I'm sure there's a way to connect it to your offer too. So bringing attention to that. Sorry to put you on the spot. I didn't mean to call you out like that.
You're all good. I've been thinking about that too,
Yeah.
like just making it like a content post, like I up and quit my job without a real plan, but here we go. And
That is, yes, that is so, people are gonna be like, what did she
Mhm.
do? Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's amazing. Yeah. So cool. Okay. And we can definitely, when we do our Q&A Telegram, if you want to drop it in, I can give feedback and I can help you, work it and reword it. And content too, you guys, I think sometimes we think about content as like going out into the world and then it's done. We can reuse it. We can reshare it. We can change the picture in the background and use the exact same stuff to keep bringing attention. We don't have to recreate the wheel. Anytime you can get screenshots, I wish somebody had told me this sooner, but like take screenshots. Don't think you're going to look at something and go, oh yeah, I'll come back and like remember that next time. Screenshot it in the moment, get it in a folder where you're going to be able to find it and like bank that stuff, bank that shit because it's all so good. Voxer snippets, screenshots, look what so-and-so, I wouldn't put a client's name, but like maybe look what my client just said. Before and after stories that lead directly to an invitation to join. I'm definitely going to do a piece of content around my mastermind client who came to me with basically nothing and saying, I don't know if I can do this, to now leaving her teaching job, which is incredible. I want to share that. I want to magnify that. I want to celebrate her and I want to show people what's possible. And then the last one here is to email your list about it regularly. So I think at the bottom of my emails, even if the email has nothing to do with my mastermind, there's a little blurb on the bottom about it just to remind people. You can soft pinch or not pinch, pitch and tie it to your content themes. You can do monthly client win roundups. That's always fun. That could be a cool like carousel post on Instagram. You can do quarterly re-invites with updated positioning. So like, oh my gosh, you guys, this quarter, we just blew shit up in the mastermind. Here's what we did. If you join before quarter 3, you're going to get an extra one-to-one call where we're going to map this, and this out. And also you guys, just for everything, all of these slides, I don't want to be annoying. That does not exist. That is not a thing. We are not worried about being annoying. We're not worried about selling. We are serving our people and we're like coming at it full force. Okay. Okay. How are we feeling now? How are we doing? Good, good. Okay. Well, I will get the replay out to you. The Facebook group is open. Again, we will have our next call on Thursday where we're going to talk all about actually selling and conversations that we're having and how to like make it not salesy and not icky. And then after that call, we'll open up the Telegram. We can have questions, open coaching in there. That'll be so fun. I'm really excited to do that. And then, yeah, you guys are amazing. You guys are rock stars. And this has just been so much fun for me to share all of this goodness with you. So I hope it's been great for you. You're so welcome. It's my pleasure always. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday. It's the beginning of the week. It's going to be a good one. All right. I love you guys.
Thank you,
Yes.
Sandy.
Thank you. You're
Yeah,
so
everyone.
welcome. Bye, ladies. We'll see you next time.
Congrats, Liz.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
yes.
you.
Yay. All right. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.